in there. Sometimes these things happen. Only got 15 minutes into the stream too. That's a bummer. But it looks like I'm back live, and if you're back with me, thanks for hanging in. Sorry for the technical difficulty. It's so funny trying to control all these touchscreen devices with my gloves on. They just don't want anything to do with it. There we go. Okay, alright, let's go. I'll restart this one. Hopefully y'all will come back through.
Not sure what's happening. My YouTube is messed up.
No, that was me. Or could have been YouTube, but I just got a message on screen that said stream disconnected. I've never seen that before, but it could be me.
Left 3 bumps, keep in.
But glad to have you back. Anyway, like I was saying, if I were to go back in time and talk to my younger self, like I'm talking 4th grade, 5th grade, I probably would have focused on some form of history, or maybe not teaching. I don't know if I'd be a great teacher, because I think I can be a bigger impact on the world than teaching, but no disrespect to teachers, I just think they unfortunately don't get as much of an opportunity as others. But I would have loved to be a, I don't know, like someone who goes to those old sites and finds things, or go like into South and Central America to go like help understand what the Aztecs were doing, or what the Mayans were doing and why, or a language specialist, you know, anything like that. I love the way that the language of, or the, having people move all over the earth has changed language and how all that stuff works. Even food. Like I met a person at a restaurant who was just kind of hanging out eating by himself, so my wife and I started talking to him. And he was a food, kind of like a food historian, where he was...
Arthur Morgan is here. I'm back.
Hey, Arthur. He was like a food historian that was writing a book and studying how food migration works. So like when, you know, the Spaniards were traveling all over the world, how they brought chocolate from, I don't remember where it was from, maybe Haiti, and they, you know, like found all these things that we use now, vegetables, all sorts of stuff. It's kind of cool.
Left 450.
Oh,
the track is over there.
The track is over there.
Long, narrows. And left 3 short, tightens into right 5, brake.
But no regrets. I'm very happy with what I've done, and you know, it's been a long time because I've been working here for years, and our company's very small. But it was nice to get a raise and some recognition this last week, and it means I'm going to the summer with a little more money in my pocket, and that's important right now because everything is more expensive. So.
Right 3, don't cut, tightens into flat left 40.
Come on. Whoa. Now, like I was saying about the way that rally navigation works, is he's saying things like left 3.
Right 3, don't cut.
And so on certain surfaces and in certain places, that 3 means 3rd gear.
Left 3, very
but here,
long,
because I'm on gravel, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It's more like getting down as slow as 2nd gear.
Into finish.
Alright. Not great, but that was fun. It was a lot of nice little blast. But yeah, one of the things I've really liked about my career is that my work has pulled me to different places. Asset, what's up? Has pulled me to different places in the world. Like I lived in the Philippines for about a year off and on, and
Hi, Asset.
I've lived on both sides of the U.S. and I would love for that to be more of my work. Like it would be so cool. Like, 'cause I've traveled to El Salvador and a little bit of, like I said, Belgium and all of, in a lot of places in Canada, and it would be really, really cool if that was a part of my job, to like go set up shop someplace and go like uncover a mystery, you know, Uncharted style. Hello, good to have you, Asset. I'm just randomly going through the well, Italy was last weekend, so I'm going through all these Italy tracks, and then once I get through these last 2, because I'm not doing the reverse I'll just do the forwards, but I'll do probably 30 minutes of some challenges or whatever else. Maybe drive some classic cars. It's hard to get warmed up bouncing from car to car, but at the same, or like to get comfortable in
Emoji face
place.
with raised eyebrow. Emoji smiling face with smiling eyes. Laughing.
Oh, sounds like Mrs. Must's back in the house. Yep, that's her. Mrs. Must just went out to get some boba tea with our neighbor. Do you guys have boba tea where you live? Do you know what that is?
I missed the speech bot.
I also love the lady who speaks your texts. It makes my life easier. I could show you, like, there's a way on PlayStation where I could display the chat on
I
the
think
side of the screen.
everyone has it.
But yeah, anyone who chats will have it. But and you think everyone has boba? Cool. Boba's relatively new to me. I never knew what it was before I moved out west. Like, maybe it's just because over the last 10 years it's everywhere.
The boba drinks. Haha.
Sorry, it's hard to keep track of conversation because of the delay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
But Mrs. Must loves boba. I don't do caffeine, so I can't do a lot of it, but they often make like some nice like sweet drinks that don't have caffeine. But I'm not, my body does not respond to caffeine, right? I get really high and I can't sleep and it causes problems for me. So I don't do that anymore.
Into flat right, keep in 40.
Wow.
Left 5 long, 30. Right 6 into left 5, 50. For right 3 over crest, narrows, opens. Right 4, medium.
See, now like a few stages in, I'm starting to get
For right 3 short, into
the
left 3
cadence
short,
down
40.
in understanding what in Italy a right 3
Right
is
4
or a
long
left
over
3 is.
crest, tightens. Left 4 short over crest into right 3, keep in. Crest into left 4 short, downhill.
This week has been so exhausting.
Oh yeah, and it's only Wednesday.
30.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Right 4 bump.
I
To my,
couldn't keep
Opens
up
into
with
left 3
streams.
long, keep in.
it happens. Busy schoolwork or what's happening?
Right 3 short.
Everything good?
Opens. And flat right over bumps into right 4 tightens into left 5 tightens.
Another
Yeah.
question. Yeah, I understand. It's the end of the year, I guess. That's the time.
And right 4 don't cut. And
For
left
those of
5
you who are
short.
in Europe or in another part of the world, have you ever attended a rally before? Would it be something that you'd ever want to do? Because I'm super jealous that you have them and I don't. You can see some. I've seen Travis Pastrana do some rally here,
Flat left over crest and left 5.
there
opens
is a
50.
sort of amateur community that does rally events, which I'd like to get out to. I don't have a car to run right now, but I'd like to go and be a spectator.
Never been to one.
Narrows.
I would love to. Germany has a pretty good one. Belgium has a great one. Obviously, Italy's pretty cool.
Right 3 don't cut.
I
Tightens.
plan on making that some part of my next European trip.
Into hairpin right opens. For caution, big jump into left 5 tightens 3 at junction. Back straight.
I know. Got it.
Into left 4 tightens over crest.
I would love to do. I'd love to go to Sweden. Oh boy.
Junction 70. Get us off real quick, please.
I would love to go to Sweden. I'm not sure I would go for the rally.
Cool emoji beaming face with smiling eyes.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Flat right into left 3, bumpy, keep in, over crest 40.
And Asset, I don't think you were in here earlier, but thank you for your advice on
30.
Red Dead Online. I'm excited about it. I was kind of thinking that,
Gate for left 2, into flat right long.
Norway is beautiful.
yes, Norway sounds like a
Into
beautiful
right 6
place,
short,
from
keep
what
in,
I'm
and
told.
right 5 short.
I have some
Into left 4 short.
friends
opens, 250
wrestling in
over
Magic
crest.
Madsen, who's sometimes posting self-promotion, sometimes says hello in our Discord. He's
Right
from
6
Denmark.
tightens 4, small cut, 40.
I'd like to get to Copenhagen and obviously stop in and see
Left 4
him.
tightens 40.
But, I mean,
No problem.
Caution, brake
Streaming.
Always
right,
here.
don't cut, opens
I
long.
appreciate you. Streaming has just exposed me to so many new people in so many places that I've never been, and it's awesome. I'm so glad I started doing this.
And left 3 tightens,
I have
very
good
long
friends
over
here in the
crest.
States, of course, old friends, local friends, people who are in the East Coast still, but
And right 5 into
it
left
is
5
really
long,
refreshing to
tightens
hear
over
from you
crest.
guys and sort of get to know other people on a regular basis. Like, I speak to people in like 5 countries every single day. I never thought that would happen. Never.
Caution,
I remember
brake,
being a
left
kid
2, don't
growing
cut
up in
50.
Vermont thinking that that's where I would be forever. And, you know, it's a great place. And I'm glad my family still lives there so I can visit, but always been a wanderer. Always
Into
loved
left 4
traveling. And,
tightens over crest.
well, not always, but once I got out of Vermont and saw
Right
what was
4
going on in
tightens
New
3,
York and
close in, tightens over
traveled
bumps.
a little bit, it's been kind of a cool ride. Oh, no.
Chatting
Ah,
with
yeah.
people from all around the world is cool.
So cool, right? Thank you, Internet. Finally, the Internet's doing something good. You know? I mean, other than
Into right 2, medium,
creating
tightens.
some cool ways to learn things, the Internet has often had more negative
Left
than
6 brake
positive,
for
but
square left, don't
I
cut,
think I've
30.
found a good hack, you know? Just stream and spend time actually genuinely trying to get to know people. And the experience is really great.
Into right 4, over bump, into flat left,
As
short,
I've said
over
before,
crest.
if along the way I get a little following and that helps me like to get to where YouTube will pay me for those advertisements that they play to you guys,
And left 6
I'll take
into
it,
right
but
5, short.
definitely not my priority.
Left
My
6
priority
into
is
right
just
5,
to
short, 40.
meet people and
Into left 5,
expand
60.
my understanding of the world.
Left 5
which you guys help me
tightens, into
do,
right 4,
believe it or
short,
not.
and kinks. Into left 3 narrows, don't cut, and right 5.
Arthur, I never even considered, I hit that second time. I never even considered that there would be islands.
Caution,
I
brake,
don't know
square
why,
left,
but I've always
opens, 30.
pictured Germany to be a very landlocked place. You know, it's landlocked on two sides, I
Left
think.
4 short, into right 3, very
So it's
long.
cool to hear that about where you live and what you guys are doing out there.
Into left 5 short, 3 in, into right 5, 50.
Whoa.
Into left 3 long,
Oh,
opens,
no.
200, bumpy.
These cars are so tough, they can go over all this stuff, but
Here's my secret. I used to be a social guy, talking to everyone with no problem. Now I'm anxious and I'm overthinking a lot, laughing.
Into
Well,
left 4, don't cut,
it's probably
narrows,
good
keep into
in a
right
sense
4.
to like kind of keep tabs on
What if I
yourself.
say something wrong? What this, what that?
Yep. Don't worry too much though. Life is
And flat
very,
left
very
tightens, bumpy.
flexible, or like it's kind of elastic. Because I've felt
Into
that way
right 3
too.
tightens,
Oh,
into left
no.
4 short, don't cut.
All
ain't
right
easy.
and back.
Into right 2, opens.
Whoops.
Not there. Into right 2,
Hey,
opens,
DWC.
cut.
It's about to storm, so I'm not getting the greatest service right now.
Oh,
Into left
nice.
4
Send some of
short.
that rain here. We
Into
need
right
it.
5 short, into left 1, don't cut.
We're talking about doing water restriction again, which for me, as a person who owns a house here, is pretty good because I've always wanted to change my yard to be like more like a desert, kind of to look a little bit like, it sounds funny, but you know, like more like Arizona, or you know, like kind of parts of the way that even Red
Into
Dead
right
looks
4,
like.
into left 3.
Not
I love
necessarily
rain.
green grass. Me too. We don't get a lot of it here.
Into right 4 short and hairpin left,
But
small cut.
if they declare a water emergency, they often give rebates to people like me to remodel your yard.
Into
So
right
they'll
5 and flat
make it
left,
like
into right
extremely
4
cheap
short.
for me to do something cool with the yard. Whoa, look, the door is open. My door is broken.
Michael the Rock Farmer.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly. I would totally farm some rocks. Maybe I'll send you some pictures of what I'm talking about so you can see it, but like right now,
Hey, I don't have notes for this bit.
that
Left
was
3
crazy.
opens and right 1 opens, 30.
But right now we have like grass in the front end backyard. We don't do anything. We don't do anything with it. Like in my backyard we do barbecue and hang out. Sometimes have friends over, but
emoji face with tears of joy.
yeah, that was crazy.
Left 3 short over crest into right 4. And crest into right 5. Whoa!
Well, yeah, whoa was right.
And left 3 medium tightens. Into right 3 medium 30.
Ah, so many rocks. Just let me drive. Nope, clunk.
The way he said whoa.
He's a whoa. Whoa, boy. Whoa.
Right 3 long, 100.
Doors are overrated in cars. Don't worry, Michael.
That's true.
Right 4 short, keep in, and left 4 short, bumpy, 30.
Do you guys drive? Do you own cars? Just curious.
Left 6 short.
I think I remember Dogwater saying that he was maybe going to get a driver's license soon. I'm always curious about that too, because cars are so important here.
And right 4 short, don't cut, and left 5 bumpy, opens, 50. Left 4 short into right 4. For hairpin right at junction.
Wow, yeah, Italy is
Left 3
very
short
difficult.
into right
I
5,
don't remember it being this hard in the previous games.
And left 3 don't cut into right 4 short.
I have a old Jeep Wrangler.
Right 4 tightens over crest 30. Let's get back on the track.
It's from 1997. I've had it for about 10 years.
And right 4
And then we also have
30.
pretty brand new Volkswagen GTI because it's my little rally car. Oh man,
I will start driving lessons next year.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Is it important where you live to have a car? Because here, if you don't have a car, you're pretty much home. We don't have a lot of public transportation. We have some, but it's not necessarily great, and it's not the safest thing in the world, because there's, unfortunately,
I have a BMW X3.
Oh, nice. That sounds cool. Nice. I'm familiar. Those are nice rides. I love BMW. I know how to work on cars pretty well, but BMW scares me a little bit because it's just BMW. It's an imported car. I don't know why. It's probably unnecessary, but I really like those. I'd like to pick up
homes. Here in the Netherlands, there are more bikes than people.
See, that's cool too. I love bicycling as well. I wish there was more of that here. There's just...
That is cool, asset. Good luck.
Yeah, man. Good luck with that. It's not bad.
Honest.
Especially if you... I knew what you meant. Especially if you have an experience with playing driving games and stuff. I just think that there's just like... It gives you a little bit of a better understanding. And over there, there's a lot of standard transmission, right? Which is what I like. I like to shift the gears. Over here, almost everything is automatic. My Jeep is standard, but that's only because it was built in the 90s. In the early 2000s, they just slowly stopped making... They still make them, but it's so much more common to be automatic. Automatic is easier, but I think standard transmission is better. I ride motorcycles too, and I think if I hadn't learned standard in a car, like if I hadn't learned how to run the clutch and the gear shifter, that motorcycling would have been a lot harder to learn. Okay, last stage in Italy, and then I've got about 20 minutes, so I'm going to...
There are more bicycles than people on my island.
That's cool, Arthur. I will look forward to that. I don't know when it could happen, but imagine that. Wouldn't it be fun now that I'm connecting with all these people, especially a lot of you in like what the western half of Europe, or in Western Europe as I think of it. It would be pretty fun.
You cannot drive everywhere on the island by car.
Right. Belgium was like that. There was a lot of roads that were bicyclist only. That's respectable. We have very few things like that here. Americans love their cars, especially in Los Angeles. Everything you've heard about Los Angeles traffic is true, and it's probably worse than you've heard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hairpin right, don't cut, 30 into jump. Right 4,
keep out. Titans 2, short, 30.
I like these short courses.
Left 3, short. And acute hairpin left, don't cut. And hairpin right, don't cut. Bail out, opens, 40.
Overcommitted too early on that one.
Caution, right 3, into acute hairpin right, bail
We
in.
have many nature reserves here. You can see a lot just by bike.
That's awesome.
Right 2, short, and caution, hairpin left, don't cut. Into right 5, keep in.
And I think I already asked you. Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I think I already... How are you? This guy's getting sassy. Arthur, what is your favorite meal or your favorite dish at the restaurant?
Right, don't cut, 30, into jump.
Gotta go again, okay. This is great practice
Right
for
4, keep
controlling
out. Titans
drift.
2, short, 30.
By any chance have you heard about the game series Life is Strange?
You know, it sounds familiar, but I don't have a clear memory or understanding of it. Life is Strange. I can almost picture it, like I can picture the title, but I don't know what it's all about. Is that one I should check out?
Caution, right 3, into acute hairpin right, bail in. To left 1, 30.
Wow.
Right 2, short, and caution, hairpin left, don't cut. Into right 5, keep in.
It is about making lots of choices. Let me think for a second, Michael.
Left 1, short, don't
Every
cut. Into
choice
finish.
matters.
That's cool. Kind of like Detroit then, a little bit. Alright, that was fun. 2 laps around this little, I would call that more like an autocross, although it wasn't quite as short as autocross, but... Alright, so that knocks out all the Italy stages.
Kinda like Detroit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. They'll choose your own adventure, be careful what you wish for kind of thing. I'll look it up. I looked closely at
My favorite food is Königsberger Klopps.
I'm gonna have to see how that's spelled. As said, I looked at Kingdom 2 Crowns. I'm gonna check it out on Switch. I looked at it. I don't really understand how it works, but I think for whatever it is now, like $20, I'll pick it up and check it out on Switch. I don't know if it's gonna be a game that Mrs. Musk will want to play, but then again, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, but I haven't forgotten about that. Königsberger Klopps. I don't speak German, but I think I know. Does König mean king? And I assume it's some sort of meat burger.
Are those meatballs with potatoes?
And then Klopps, is that what potato means? The only reason I think I know what König means because I have seen brands that say König and they always have a crown. Alright, let's do something else. Let me do some challenges. And these challenges, wow, there's so many of them. It's just a basic way to like learn how to drive in all these different situations. Like for example, any of these that have a question mark I haven't run yet. So like this training would be
Favorite dessert is ice cream. I love
Nice.
food and I like to try everything.
Me too. I'm not shy about food. I'll eat literally anything. I've had fried grasshoppers in Mexico and all sorts of crazy stuff everywhere else. Horse steak in Montreal, Canada. What else? Bunch of random stuff. The Philippines was like a rainbow of random food. Not some of which I don't even know what it was. But that sounds cool. I'm going to look up what a Königsberger Klopps is. Yeah.
Horse
I'll-
steak?
Yeah, in Montreal they serve it. It's funny because like the menu was written all in French, and I speak a little French because I grew up near there, and I don't speak it as
That
well as I
made
used
me
to.
laugh
but-
for no reason. What? Yes, they are small meatballs with potatoes and caper sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, it was pretty good though, and it was funny because the waitress was reading and translating everything, even though I didn't really need her to translate it. It was good for my wife to hear because she doesn't speak any French. And so she's like, "Oh yeah, we've got the lapin, which is rabbit, and we've got the other things and blah blah blah." Then she's like, "And then we have le cheval," and she just continued on, and I knew what that meant was horse, but she didn't tell us what it was because in the U.S. that's pretty much frowned upon. We don't consider horses food. I don't know. It was like kind of like deer. Tasted a lot like deer.
Très bien, sir, très bien.
Très bien, sir. Très bien. It was funny though. I was like, oh, she's too shy to say that it's a horse. And then when I was in not the Philippines, in Belgium, they have something there called a Bicky burger, which is actually a sausage burger that's a mixture of, I think it's pork, chicken, and horse. And it's some mix of that. When we got them, we'd heard Bicky, Bicky, Bicky all over the place in the town that we stayed in Ghent. And when we got them, my wife was so hungry, she ate a bunch of it and ate it. And then she stopped and looked at me and was like, I don't think that this is beef. And I was like, yeah, in Europe, or at least at that time, they didn't have a lot of beef because of, I'm assuming, whatever issues they had with mad cow disease.
Emoji face with tears of joy.
And so we Googled it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is part horse. And she was all like, what? Do we just eat horse? But Bicky is awesome. If you get a chance to eat Bicky, it's worth it.
3.
All right, let's see what they want me to do here.
1.
This is usually
Let's
just
go.
driving around a really tight course, trying to go as fast as I possibly can. Wall to wall. We'll do 3 laps, see if that gets me close to gold. That's not the one. That ain't it, Chief. I ate some shark in Australia. That was cool. And they were so happy. It was funny because I was traveling with a bunch of Americans and we went to this place called Apollo Beach. And Apollo Beach is on the west coast, sort of northwest of Melbourne. Beautiful location, awesome place. And we went to the seafood restaurant on the right in the boardwalk. And like the 2 guys that I was traveling with and their wives got like chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers, and I'm like, are you crazy? We're at the beach. You have to have whatever local fish is. And when I asked about what the fish was, he was like, oh, it's can't remember what they call it. They have they have a name for shark that's not exactly shark, because there are so many different types of shark. They just kind of generalize it. When the man brought the food out, he made it a point to be like, bring all the plates out, and then once all the plates were on the table, he came with another dish and gave me like an extra helping of food. Not
I've
only
heard in the Philippines they eat some raw eggs with small chicks inside.
yeah, balu.
Hope I'm not wrong.
You're not, and it's worse. They're fermented, so it's a mostly developed. I think it might be chicken or some sort. I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's a mostly developed bird inside the shell, and then they ferment them. You know, kind of like, I don't know, put it in vinegar for a while, and it's disgusting. And they eat them bones and all because they're not fully developed. The bones are like, you can kind of chew them up and they're soft. But it's like an old person thing where they get like drunk and go and like sit in a room and meditate and eat this food as like a delicacy. I ate everything except for balut while I was there because I just... Let's see what place I came in. Alright, bronze. I'll take it. That's fine. Go on to the next one here. Yeah, I stayed away from that though, and all my friends were like, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's gross. It's an older person thing. Ooh, look at this.
Not my type, lol.
No, I'll eat virtually anything, but like I said, I've even eaten grasshoppers. I'm not afraid of food. It just didn't sound appetizing. If someone had said, "Oh, it's really, really good. It's a great experience. You have to try it," I would. But they basically said it's something that you douse with hot sauce and eat as like a rite of passage, and that's not worth it for me. But yeah, the thing in Australia was fun. My friends were eating their chicken nuggets and burgers, and the guy was so happy. He was like, "You're a good guy. Thank you." He's like, I appreciate you coming here to order what we actually make." Like right in front of my friends. I'm like, yeah, you gotta, when in Rome, you gotta do it. All right, so maintenance is, it progresses.
I won't go to Australia after what I have saw on the internet, lol.
It was a cool place. I probably wouldn't, no offense to any Australians, but I probably wouldn't make it a priority to go back. Like, I worked there for almost a month, and it was great. It was a cool experience. It was nice meeting people, but understandably, there was
Snakes coming out of toilets, huge
Oh, yeah.
spiders in the corner of the room.
Giants. Those, I don't remember what they're called. Those spiders are scary. I didn't see any of that. We stayed in a nice hotel in the city. We did get out into the country, but I didn't see anything scary. I know there's lots of sharks in the water.
I would be scared.
Yeah, and also culturally, like, they kind of don't have there isn't Australian culture. Like, Australian culture is a mix of Asia and Europe, and so they're kind of like mixed up. And I kept being like, where do I go to get Australian food? Oh, we had kangaroo down there in a burrito, which was interesting. Again, tasted pretty much like deer. But I kept saying, like, where do we go for Australian food? Where's Australian beer? Where's Australian wine? Whatever, like, whatever you guys make. And they're like, nah, mate, none of that happens down here. This is just a mix of everything else, which was cool. They had great dim sum. We had some really, really good Italian and Greek food there. But it didn't feel like I walked away from it understanding Australia, if that makes sense. But anyway, maintenance is something that you go through in older cars. It's usually a course that you get used to. It'll be the same one every few times you'll do a maintenance run. And you just get faster and faster at it and try and go as far as you possibly can. So this is only 2.6 kilometers, but I doubt that there's any way to go all the way to the end unless you're really, really good at the game. So it'll give me a gold, silver, or bronze based on how far through it I can make it. I like these a lot. This car is kind of cool too. It's an Audi that's as old as I am, so I like these cars. I grew up admiring German cars, and I think that's part of why I like rallies, because I've always been interested. I remember when I was like 8 or 9 years old, a friend of my parents had a Volkswagen Rabbit, and I was still living in Vermont because I was young, and he took us out for a ride in it, and it was so cool. I had never been in a car like that before. Nothing like that. My parents' cars were very boring, vans and American cars primarily. Look at that beauty. Look at that beautiful box. Beauty, boxy, classic car. Would love to own one of these.
3, 2, 1, we're off.
Oh, that's cool, because this is Michelle Mouton. I get to be with her navigator. This woman sitting to my right. Whoa. But there is no navigator for these, so you just have to learn the course. That's why they have you do it over and over again, I think. Whoa.
I like the Ford Mustangs. The old ones are beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah. They are really nice, like 60s. Even into the early 70s, they were very nice. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't dislike them, but I wouldn't buy a Mustang after probably 1975. I think they got a little bit too...
A typical dessert on my island is sea buckthorn cake or East Friesland cake.
I'm gonna have to look at that. I didn't hear what she said. Let me check it. Wow, the steering on this one is so much looser than the WRC car. Like, when I turn the wheel, there's a lot of play.
1969 looks great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you ever see Gone in 60 Seconds, where they had, can't remember what he called her, Eleanor? That was a beautiful car. Good game too, or good movie too. Let me see what you said. A typical dessert is buckthorn cake or East Friesland cake. Okay. I don't know what a sea buckthorn is. I'll check it out though. I'm gonna have to look at all this. So I didn't place for that, so I'm going to try again now that I've seen it. We're doing on time. All right, we still got 8 minutes to go. And then it's just a couple hours.
2, 1, go!
It smells like my lunch just arrived, too.
Wow, that looks great, Arthur.
Arthur, I'm going to try and find a recipe for those Koenig burger meatballs that you pointed out. I'm going to make that recipe here. I love capers. So does my wife. Alright, this is not the run I wanted. I got to remember
What
that.
you gonna eat? If you don't mind the question.
Oh, of course. Mrs. Musk just ran out to get us some what they call naked burgers from Five Guys. And so it's just a burger, like kind of like a salad with a burger on top of it instead of the bun. Because I'm trying to lose weight and trying to stay in shape. Getting older, it's harder to do that every day. So I try and stay away from bread unless I'm like celebrating or it's a special meal or something like that. And so it'll be some beef, cheese, bacon, excuse me, and then like lettuce, tomato, onion. It's sort of like a deconstructed burger.
3,
I
2,
can give you the
1.
recipe for the
Here we
cakes.
go.
Oh,
I
and the
know
cakes
it
too, yeah.
looks great.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'll try this again. I'm just
Yo,
gonna
and
try
back,
it.
hopefully the connection is cleared up now.
Ah, cool. DWC, I assume that's you. It could have been me too. There may be some issues with my internet today. Hopefully they will go away before 3 o'clock. I tend to have a pretty reliable connection because I pay for like the best one that you can get in this area. Well, maybe not the best, but close to the best because I love the internet. I use it for pretty much everything. Much better. That felt smooth. It's hard with no navigator. She's here, she just doesn't do anything.
Sounds great. Bon appetit, Michael.
Merci. Alright, that's silver. I'll take that. I knew after a little bit I could get it. I'm one of those people, I don't have a photographic memory, but I have a slightly, it feels like I have a slightly photographic memory where I'm good at remembering things like this. Alright, 5 minutes to go. This should be fun. Estonia Extreme. During these events, you must drive under extreme weather conditions with a severely damaged car. So I'll be in the Yaris from WRC again. And I'm going to try and go at least 1.231 kilometers. Mrs. Muss is back talking on the phone with somebody. Sounds like maybe family. So this is similar. It's kind of like the maintenance one, except for the conditions are really bad.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Caution, brake, hairpin left, 30.
If I was playing the game, my baby side would say, you have to get the gold medal, I don't care.
Caution left, right, 3.
Oh
short
wait, today's
over turn,
Wednesday, I
over
keep
crest,
thinking
left
it's
into right,
Tuesday.
5 opens.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, and I'm also like that. If I wasn't streaming, I would just grind that. Wow. I can't see anything. And the car is definitely unhappy.
Seems a bit optimistic. Right 2 opens 80.
He said seems
That's
a
the
bit
thing I hate
optimistic.
about me. I don't like the second place, I don't know
Caution,
why.
hard brake, jump into right 3, tightens.
Well, hopefully it means you got the ethics to make it happen.
Sounds
Square left,
greedy.
30.
No, it's just good ethics, hard work ethics. Just don't beat yourself up about it.
Over gravel, square right, into square left, don't cut, 80.
This has got to
Nice.
be one of the foggiest races I have ever seen.
Same. That was pretty good. I got second first try, so if it's cool, I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. Let's see if we can get gold, because I definitely made it far enough. If I just made it another few...
3,
Take
2,
it a little easier, maybe.
1. Let's go. Caution, brake, hairpin left, 30. Caution, left, right, 3, short, over tarmac, over crest.
So I gotta avoid those spots where it seems like the car, part of the problem is maybe the transmission is slipping.
Off we go.
I don't know how you kept it on the road. I would have ran off in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Caution, left, right, 3, short, over tarmac, over crest, keep left.
See here,
into
that's
right,
really
5,
slowing me
opens.
down. The car doesn't want to drive through.
And right 4,
Magic.
brake into right 5, cut
Totally
left
magic. A little bit of magic and a little bit of skill, maybe a little luck.
Left 2, small cut, 80.
See, it's definitely having some traction problems. Let's see, I got time for one more good push.
3,
Here. Let's see.
2, 1. Here we go. Caution, brake, hairpin left, 30.
She says numbers really weird. She says 10 instead of 10.
I know. It's not perfect.
Caution, left, right 3, short, over tarmac and over crest, keep left into right 5, opens. And right 4, brake into right 5, cut 100. Left 2, small cut, 80. Right 2, opens, 80.
Sharp left, Michael. Sharp left, listen to me. Emoji face with tears of joy.
Caution, hard brake, jump into right 3, tightens. Into left 3, short, opens, into square left, 30.
That was a little better.
Over gravel, square right, into square left, don't cut, 80.
That was good. I made it a little further, but just shy of the mark. All right. Well, I think maybe I'll give this training one 3-lap try, because this is just going to be another one of those things where it's like, yeah, just a big circle to or whatever shape that is. Kind of looks like a man, like a bust. But I'll do this just for 3 laps, and then I gotta get back to
I'm
work.
so bad at racing games. I would have to remind myself to turn left on a NASCAR track.
We're gonna go real fast, then we're gonna turn to the left. It's definitely a skill that you have to practice. I've owned this since probably 2020, late 2020. No, maybe early 2020 or late 2019, but it takes time. Oh, this is gonna be in the dark. All right.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oops. Okay, so there's 1 lap. That one felt pretty good. Not quite so good on the second lap here. Or is this the third? Alright, final lap. Let's hope for silver.
I will send you after stream a link with the trailer with Life Strange. You can choose between 5 or 6 games, I think.
Cool. Ah, nice. Got second. That's a good way to end things. Thank you, Asset. Thanks, Dogwater Club, and thank you, Arthur, for being here to hang out. I'm now we're setting the clock T-minus 2 hours until Red Dead Online. I hope I can see you. I know, Asset, you said you weren't going to be able to make it tonight. Don't stress about it. We got Friday. We'll start the first chapters of Red Dead Redemption. It'll be pretty fun. So until then, have a good time. Have a great night, and I'll see you on Discord. See you guys.
I think not. Have a nice rest of your day at work, then Red Dead time.
Thank you.
Can't wait for Friday.
Me too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Always, Michael.
Take care.